The crucifixion of Jesus Christ is a central event in Christian theology, representing the ultimate sacrifice for humanity's sins. In Matthew 26, verse 53, Jesus mentions that he could call on his Father to send more than 12 legions of angels to rescue him. A Roman legion typically consisted of about 6,000 soldiers, so 12 legions would amount to over 72,000 angels. Welcome to Prince Osa's Bible Ministries. For the sake of this discussion, we'll consider the scenario of Jesus requesting 1,000 angels. What would have been the consequences of such an intervention? The crucifixion of Jesus was prophesied in the Old Testament and was integral to God's plan for salvation. Isaiah 53 verse 5 states, "But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed." If Jesus had called for angels to stop his crucifixion, these prophecies would not have been fulfilled, undermining the consistency and reliability of biblical prophecy. Christian theology teaches that Jesus' death was necessary for the atonement of humanity's sins. Hebrews 9 verse 22 states, "Without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness." If Jesus had avoided crucifixion, the sacrificial system established in the Old Testament would have remained incomplete, and humanity's sins would not have been fully atoned for. The crucifixion and subsequent resurrection of Jesus were pivotal events that galvanized his followers and led to the spread of Christianity. If Jesus had avoided crucifixion, the early Christian movement might have lacked the foundational event that demonstrated his divinity and the power of his message. The apostles' preaching often centered on the death and resurrection of Jesus, and without these events, their message might have lacked the same impact. The crucifixion of Jesus was carried out by the Roman authorities, and it served as a significant interaction between the nascent Christian movement and the Roman Empire. If Jesus had been rescued by angels, it would have dramatically altered the relationship between early Christians and the Roman authorities. The miraculous intervention might have led to immediate persecution or, conversely, a recognition of Jesus' divine authority. John 3 verse 16 states, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." The crucifixion is seen as the ultimate demonstration of God's love for humanity. If Jesus had avoided this sacrifice, the depth of God's love and the extent of his willingness to save humanity might not have been as profoundly demonstrated. Jesus' willingness to endure suffering and death serves as a powerful example of sacrificial love and obedience to God's will. Philippians 2 verse 8 states, "And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross." If Jesus had chosen to avoid crucifixion, this example of humility and obedience would have been lost, potentially altering the moral and ethical teachings of Christianity. If Jesus had called for 1,000 angels, the immediate intervention would have been a spectacular display of divine power. The angels could have overpowered the Roman soldiers and religious leaders, rescuing Jesus from his impending death. This miraculous event would have been witnessed by many, potentially leading to a dramatic shift in belief and the immediate recognition of Jesus' divine authority. While the immediate rescue might have led to widespread belief in Jesus' divinity, the long-term spiritual impact could have been complex. The absence of the crucifixion and resurrection might have left a theological void regarding the atonement of sins. The Christian message might have focused more on Jesus' teachings and miracles rather than his sacrificial death and resurrection. So in conclusion, if Jesus had asked God to send 1,000 angels to stop his crucifixion, the theological, historical, and spiritual landscape of Christianity would have been profoundly altered. The fulfillment of prophecy, the necessity of atonement, the impact on early Christianity, and the demonstration of God's love and sacrificial example would all have been affected. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.